Have you ever looked at a massive global application and wondered, how on earth did they build that? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and go on that exact journey. We're taking a simple app and turning it into a scalable, resilient, cloud-native superpower. Let's dive in. So picture this. You've built a great app. People absolutely love it, and your user base is just exploding. This is the dream, right? Well, it's also the exact moment that dream can turn into a total nightmare. See, that sudden success can completely crush a simple architecture. You start seeing slow performance, crashes, and a whole lot of unhappy users. So the real question becomes, is your app just built to launch, or is it truly built to scale? All right, first things first. Let's look at what actually breaks when a simple app gets popular. These are the classic growing pains that are basically screaming at you, hey, it's time for a major architectural upgrade. This slide just lays it all out, the old way versus where we need to be. In the old way, everything is tightly coupled. Think of it like a giant knot of wires. Your reminder logic is tangled up with your main app logic. Everything's a mess. Processing is synchronous, which forces the user to wait for one thing to finish before they can do anything else. It's slow, it's brittle, it's just not going to work. Our goal is the complete opposite. We want a system that's asynchronous, loosely coupled, and can give us awesome new features like a complete audit trail. So, how do we get there? How do we fix this mess? Well, the first big step isn't just adding a new tool, it's adopting a whole new way of thinking. We need to make our application event-driven, and the tool that's going to get us there? Apache Kafka. The magic word here is decoupling. Instead of services calling each other directly, they just publish events to a central message bus. That's Kafka. You can think of Kafka as the application's central nervous system. One service can just shout out, hey, a new task was created, and any other service that cares can listen and react without ever knowing the original service even exists. It's a total game changer. And by acting as the central nervous system, Kafka immediately unlocks 4 incredibly powerful capabilities that were pretty much impossible before. Let's see how each one of these completely transforms our app. First up, reliable reminders. Before, this logic was stuck right inside the main app. Now, the main app just fires off a reminder event and completely forgets about it. It's done its job. A totally separate, specialized service picks it up and handles the notification. The best part? If that notification service fails for some reason, it doesn't bring down the whole app. It's the same idea for recurring tasks. A user checks off their weekly to-do item and boom, an event is published. In the background, a recurring task service hears that event and quietly creates the next instance for the following week. For the user, there's zero delay. It's all happening asynchronously, like magic. Okay, now this one is incredibly powerful. Every single action a user takes, creating, updating, deleting a task, now becomes a permanent, unchangeable event in Kafka. A separate audit service can then just listen to this stream of events and build a perfect history of everything that has ever happened. This is a lifesaver for debugging, for security, for analytics, you name it. Ever used a collaborative app like Google Docs and wondered how it updates so fast? This is it. This is the secret sauce. One person updates a task on their phone, which publishes an event to Kafka. A WebSocket service immediately picks it up and blasts that update to every other connected device, laptops, tablets, whatever. That's how you get that instant, real-time feeling. Okay, so Kafka has made our app way more powerful and scalable. But there's always a but, right? We've also introduced a new problem: complexity. Now our application code has to know how to talk to Kafka, how to handle retries if something goes wrong, how to find other services. It's a lot to manage, and it can get messy really fast. I mean, just look at this code. Your application has to import a specific Kafka Python library. It needs to know server addresses, security protocols, all the credentials. Your beautiful business logic is now getting polluted with all this infrastructure gunk. And what if you ever want to switch from Kafka to something else, like RabbitMQ? You'd have to go back and rewrite all of this code. What a pain. Now, contrast that with the dapper way. Look at this. It's so clean. There's no Kafka library. There are no credentials. It's just a simple, standard HTTP post request to a local URL. The application code has literally no idea that Kafka even exists. It's just talking to its local helper. That's it. So what is this magic helper? It's Dapper, the distributed application runtime. It runs as a separate little process, a sidecar, right next to your application. Think of it like a personal assistant. Your app talks to Dapper using simple APIs, and Dapper takes care of all the messy, complicated work of talking to Kafka, the database, secret stores, and everything else. The benefits here are just huge. I mean, look at this. Without Dapper, you're manually managing all these libraries, you're writing your own retry logic. Who wants to do that? And you're hard-coding URLs. With Dapper, you get all of that for free. It has built-in retries, automatic service discovery, secure secrets, and, this is the big one, no vendor lock-in. You can swap out Kafka for another message broker just by changing a single configuration file. No code changes, zero. And Dapper is this whole toolkit of what it calls building blocks. We've seen how PubSub hides Kafka from us, but Dapper can also manage state for you, trigger your code from external events, securely handle all your secrets, and make service-to-service calls reliable. It's a true Swiss Army knife for building modern microservices. All right, so we have our event-driven logic powered by Kafka and our simplified, portable application code, all thanks to Dapper. Now it's time to put all the pieces of the puzzle together and deploy this thing to a real production-grade cloud environment. And here it is, the complete modern stack. At the bottom, you've got your cloud provider for the raw hardware. On top of that, Kubernetes acts as the master orchestrator, kind of like the traffic cop for the whole system. For our data, we have NeonDB for storage and Kafka as our event bus. And the glue connecting our application logic to all of this, that's Dapper, the intelligent plumbing that makes this entire system work together seamlessly.
Wow, we have covered a lot of ground, haven't we? We've gone from a simple, fragile app to this complex, distributed system. So, what's the big takeaway here? Why go through all this trouble?
The one crucial principle to remember is this: loose coupling. Your application's core business logic is completely insulated from all the underlying infrastructure. It only knows how to talk to one thing. It's Dapper's sidecar. Dapper, in turn, knows how to talk to Kafka, the database, or whatever else you plug in. This separation is what gives you flexibility, resilience, and the power to evolve your stack as new and better technologies come along.
And honestly, this quote just sums it all up perfectly. Dapper abstracts infrastructure behind simple HTTP APIs. You change YAML config, not your application code. That is the revolutionary idea. Your infrastructure becomes a simple configuration detail, not a core dependency that's hardwired into your application.
And that leaves us with one final thought. As you think about your next project, it's really worth asking yourself this question. Are you building something that just works for today, or are you building an architecture that's ready to handle the massive success you're hoping for? The choices you make early on can make all the difference in your ability to grow in the future.